in Canada, even North America. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't play it as much as they do over in Europe. I enjoy the game though. I think it's very eight ball relative. Works on your small cue ball control movement.
Yeah, it used to be my favorite game about 50 years ago. I used to love playing straight pool. But then nine ball came along.
Yeah, it has a
See
rich
how he,
history in the northeastern states, New York State, kind of New England. A lot of straight pool was played around there in the past.
and a lot of it in Europe. One of the better players that I can think of is Torsten Homan, uh, Niels Fyen.
Oliver Ortman kind of heading up the
Yes,
straight pool
yes.
European
Another
charge as well.
Suke, the German champions.
So he's going to have to use the 8 for a breakout ball here. It's going to be tough to get a lot of energy with the cue ball going into the rack off the 8, but 6, 7, 11 just aren't lying well enough. Yeah, he was trying to move it there.
and welcome everybody to the Predator EPBF European Pool Championships. This is the straight pool division, a loser round 2 match between Michel BARTOL and Arseny Sevastyanov. Croatia against Finland, and yeah, our apologies to miss the beginning of this match. We've had some technical issues. Hopefully everything will be working from here on. This is Graham Hickman and Tim de Ruyter in the booth to call the shots for you. Welcome, Graham.
Thanks, Tim. How are you doing? You doing okay?
Very good. Yeah, I've been watching Arseny now because he's been running out the first 3 racks now. So I was expecting him to be in the winner bracket actually. I'm not too sure who he lost to. I know that Michel BARTOL lost to Ivo Aerts earlier today. But quite surprised to see Sevastyanov in the loser bracket. Quite a straight shooter, new cloth. So yeah, not really expecting him to miss too many balls. Unless he's not too familiar with straight pool. That's something I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was just looking at his history, and over the previous European Championships, he's been quite strong in, definitely in the 8-ball. He got a few medals picked up there. I think he won it last year. He got gold last year, so 8-ball's definitely his game. And I think those skills do transfer quite well over to straight pool. So, but his historical straight pool hasn't been very strong in terms of results over the last few years. But clearly, as you said, he's an up-and-coming player, very strong, and already making a good sizable lead here with a 42 head start.
Yeah, he lost to Robin Haag Pettersen from Norway in the winners round 1 match. Was his first match, so probably struggled with adjusting to the table and maybe how the rack was opening up. 100 to 88. Then, well, like I said, we haven't really seen the beginning. I know Michel BARTOL is the brother of Roberto BARTOL, also from Croatia. Plays probably slightly under his brother's speed, but still both of them play very competitively. So yeah, I expect this to be a good match, but it can only be a good match if Arseny finds a way to mess it up. He can play the 4, run in between the 3 and the 7. Just don't hit it too soft. Then you're ready to go. Oh!
That was very unlucky, that, Tim. He played it really well, I think. Just a bit unfortunate to flying off there.
Oh, I gotta say, he did go a little bit deep on the cue ball. And yeah, well, he caught the point and went off the ball. Like, could have played a little better on the bump. Just slightly cue ball positioning where to go into the stack. But I mean, yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Let's see, there's 5, 10, 12. So he's on, let's say, 44. And at least an open chance for Michel to catch some stroke, catch some rhythm. Oh, and this is...
Yeah, this is
he should be happy to get on the 6.
Yeah, a bit fortunate there. He was attacking straight away to open the balls up, but you're hoping for a little bit of fortune. But he still always had the ball over the side pocket. I think he's be nice just to get a few racks under his belt and get his arm going a little bit. Sitting in your chair keeps you cold, obviously, but a nice table to get going, I think, here.
Well, definitely has 2 options on the break shot. Both of them I feel are not ideal yet. The yellow 1 ball on the left and the red 3 ball on the right. The 3 is quite high and the 1 is quite low, so it's a little bit in between. But with where the 13 is, I don't mind to get to the 3 ball.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It's a good call, and you could try to play some kind of gentle nudge on some of those balls near the triangle area to try and push them into a better break ball, but I think what you're saying is good. 3 balls there, if that's what he's already chosen in his mind.
Yeah, just gotta make sure he gets on either the 2 or the 7 as soon as possible, and could have also done with the 14, but definitely would have liked to keep that 13 there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Hey, quick question for you then, Tim. So when you're looking at a straight pool rack, when you come to the table, are you automatically picking your break ball and then working back from that and focusing all your attention on getting to that point? Or if it's a busy table, are you trying to just make a dent and then work towards it?
I usually pick a couple balls and try to work my way to open up the stack again, like as soon as possible.
Yeah, yeah. I think it just depends how straightforward, obviously, the break ball is making itself presentable. Sometimes it's so obvious because it's just perfect. Whereas, like you say, this one, he's got to do a little bit of just moving around these balls. So, is he taking the 3 now? No.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
is. So now I'm wondering, the 14 is just outside, just like the 8, but the 8 is quite high, so you will only have the impact on one of the top balls. It's not ideal to have a nice spread, and the 14 is that close to the rack to where making actually the break ball sometimes is funny aiming.
Yeah, true. I think he's okay here, though. He's got a few options. If he wants to just draw it back slightly, or does he want to roll forward and play it in the top? It's options of how he feels to get to that break ball. Oh, he's bumping it a
Well,
little bit.
so this is interesting. I was just gonna say one thing I would never do is play that bump now. Like if you have 10 balls on the table, you can play the bump because you're most likely to have another shot to shoot. The bump really did not have so much value here to push the 14 out because you are always going to have quite off-angle shot on the 8, but he has to take the 8 to the top right corner.
Yeah, I agree. I think unless you've got a guaranteed ball after the bump, like over the pocket or somewhere pretty straightforward, then I think it's worth it. But you're right, it was a little bit risky to take it now. Good shot required. Makes it. Good recovery.
And, well, did get quite straight on this 15.
Yeah. Maybe he can pinch a little bit. Or does he go all the way to the top cushion and back down to the center?
Yeah, ooh.
Pinched a bit, yeah.
Well, that Q action looked a little bit nervy. Kinda pulled his Q out to the inside of the table. But yeah, could still cheat the pocket there, and you kinda gotta take whatever angle you can get on the 14.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit more than we expected from that angle, so he done well to get to that center part of the table, and getting that first rack under his belt would be good for his confidence, get his arm going a little bit. Hopefully he can get another nice open table to keep the run going here.
Yeah,
Interesting.
11 balls.
So I was saying he's interesting there, Tim. He's racking his own balls. In the match earlier with Felix Vogel and Mario He, they were racking each other's balls. So I'm guessing it's a player agreement before. There's no set way of doing it if you're comfortable.
Yeah, I think originally you have to rack each other's, but most of the players, they like to rack their own. In general, they're not allowed to tap the balls in any way. So I've had the same thing last year at the European Championships. I felt like the rack was off and I tried to tap one of the balls, and the referee came over and told me, you're allowed to rack your own, but not to make sure they're frozen. But it's still nice to know what you're gonna get for a rack at least.
Yeah, I agree. Makes sense. Makes sense.
He left himself quite long again. Now I wouldn't do too much on this 13. Just make sure you tap it in. Like, I'm not gonna try and stop the cue ball off the rail. You could hang the ball. Well, he proved me wrong, but he made it more scary than
Yeah.
was needed.
I think he could have got the same result just rolling it in, like you say, off the top side, long cushion and short cushion, but he played it pretty confident.
Okay, did a good job there to stay out of trouble by running into the 10. Let's see, this is usually where you can see a good straight pool player. They will find a quick way to get, let's say, in between the 12 and the 2. You know, he has to open up balls to the left. Could go off the 2. I would not make too many balls though. Like, I would leave a couple balls open in case you do not get that one positional shot right. Like now I might go play the 10, 2 rails, try to run towards the 5, and I have the 3, 12, 7 or 15 open.
Yeah, a few options there. I wonder if he's going to play this one and draw into those 2 balls just below the 3 stack, potentially. Or can he play straight?
Could play shape for it.
Yeah, straight up and down into the 2 maybe. Just play to the side. He's okay.
Well, it would be nice if he can take out the 6, because especially in straight pool you see players take away balls that block lines or pockets for other balls. So by taking the 6, if it's available here, opens up the corner for the 1 ball.
Yeah, if it's not available, he can play for it next ball. Just come off the cushion, back to a
Well,
similar spot.
I would go to the left side of the 6, play top right. Because going this way, you might not be on it.
Yeah, he's obviously got a plan in his mind to try and chip away these balls to make some space. Like you say, you don't want to keep potting too many open balls and not leave yourself a chance to get ready on a break ball. But can you just bump this out the way? Yeah. It's starting to open up now, Tim. I think he's giving himself a few options here to get on that break ball to the right side of the stack potentially.
Well, he definitely needs to get that 6 ball out of the way. Surprised he waited that long. I'm also surprised where he has played to here.
Yeah, he's a bit short. He wanted to be a lot higher and straighter on this 2 ball.
Well, he has been moving the cue ball around quite a bit, and I think it just shows that it's making him struggle a bit though, because his speed is just not right yet. Did not get so much stable time so far.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to try and kill this. I think he's going around the table, potentially. Yeah, there you go. You called it, Tim. He's chasing the rack a little bit there, and a bit of a careless one, I would say, running those balls out. Chance for Arsene to come back now and pick up the pieces.
Now, would you go for a straight 5 ball, or would you consider taking the 12 so you have a break shot after?
No, I'd take the straight 5 ball and then maybe play one of those 3 balls, and you could possibly push one of the other balls into a break ball position, potentially.
Well, you could also play for a 2 as a break shot, so
yeah, exactly. There's a few options.
I think I would just like to get on the 7. Get on the 7, you could get on the 6 and push the 1 out and have the 12 as a backup. Or just play 2 as a break shot. I mean, don't make it too tough. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I think like you said, sometimes you've got to take what the table gives you. You can sometimes be pushing the boat a little bit too far just because of a break ball and take an unnecessary risk. I think you can still make this work from these remaining balls. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's just pushed it a bit too far, but it's still an option if he wants to take that one.
Well, from where the 12 was, he was always going to push it quite high. Yeah, I would not even... I would try to get straight on the 12 to the top left corner, and then you leave, with a stop shot, you leave angle on the 6 to leave yourself at least a big enough angle on the 2 ball to work with.
Yeah, it's a good call. See what he's thinking. Looks like he's playing the stripe as the break ball. Yeah. So he's got a bit of angle, so he can punch this over, try to finish somewhere up next to the, just off the middle pocket a little bit. That's what he's thinking.
Well, there is an in between though. Like, you don't want to fall too straight, but with too much angle.
Yeah, you said it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It was so delicate. Like, if you get too much angle on the 12, you might cut it in and not get to the stack. You might go on top of it and having to use one reel to go into it. So he was trying to get perfect, and that's what he didn't. I did like that 2-ball as a break shot still. Just to make sure, I guarantee have something. Play one good split, and then from there you have a chance to run more break shots like he has here on the 12. Now the question is, can he go forward 2 rails and catch possibly the 1 or the 11, slide off the stack and have the 3 available?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. Just looking at it. What would you do if you're perfectly straight here, Tim? Do you take the point and play off the stack as a safe, or do you call safe and just draw the cue ball to the top rail?
Oh, he's called safe and draw the cue ball back to the short rail. I think I would do the same. I mean,
I think so.
the thing is, you have a, well, it's not a big lead, but it's a lead still. I mean, you're like, let's say he's up 2 racks. Now, if you go for the break shot, you miss the ball. Now you will always see that object ball will split open the rack. You leave your opponent free 14 balls and possibly a nice break shot, and now he runs 60. Then you basically ruined it by going too aggressive. So I like the choice here.
Yeah, I agree. That's my preferred choice in those situations. Very rare would I be playing off a thin stack or anything. It's just harder to predict sometimes how the balls will open up when you flick off a very tight pack.
Well, you want the other guy to try and catch the rack thin and leak a shot. You don't want to be that guy that sells out right after. Oh, this is so tough. There was no way that could have went right.
Yeah, he's left an angle as well, Tim, to go into the stack, so it's a double barrel mistake here, I think. Push the cue ball through the balls maybe, unless it's a bit high.
I was expecting him to play like a kick shot 1 rail into the bottom of the stack and maybe take a foul. Or go 2 rails and take a foul, you know, just make sure you split the pack just slightly and stay in control. Arsenie's gonna, if this, yeah, I was gonna say if this goes nice, if this goes well, he could make a big run again, but played it too soft. He could have actually put some more in it.
Yeah, maybe you can just get the one in the middle.
No, he's playing the 3 and oh,
dangerous.
I'm shooting the 4. Yeah, I played a 14.
It's more. It's definitely more of a safety shot, if I can say it that way. This is very aggressive because he is going to open all these balls up.
What about you play the 14 top right and you stun the cue ball for the 6 in the right center pocket, play shape on the 3 and open up the stack. This is a big shot. If you miss the ball here, it can be very costly.
Oh, nice little bump on the bottom rail.
You still need some roll. I mean, it's nice that 5 ball came just too high to the side, but pretty awkward position still. Don't go into the stack again. I mean, just make the ball and go forward. Get to the 7 and no,
I think
goes right into it.
He's missed it. He's pushing a little bit too aggressive there. I think there was options. I don't think that was necessary. But yeah.
Well, we both know he's a good putter. So for a guy that shoots straight and is comfortable and, you know, making the easy balls over and over, I would tell him not to do too much in what he just had, you know, just make the ball. And there's no rush. You still have 5-6 balls open to open up that small cluster of 6-7.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think straight ball's a funny game, Tim, isn't it? Because it can force you to think that you have to open up everything as soon as possible, which yes you do, but there's also a right timing to do certain things. And there is, if there's other options and other shots, pushing a bit more of a trickier shot maybe can be the wrong choice at certain times. But this table's become a little bit messy now, so it does require a little bit more creativity. A few clusters.
Well, pushed, I believe it was a 15 over as well. And I'm guessing he's not on the 13 to the side, so he's banking the 9. Wow. No, safety. Wrong call. I thought he was going aggressive because well, he's not happy. If you looked at his facial expression, he's obviously not in a right rhythm. I think they're both playing too aggressive.
Yeah, I think he was just frustrated because he landed locked on touching that strike ball, which, yeah, does happen in this game more often than you think. Those are the kind of moments that stop your runs quite often, when you land locking on a ball or touching a ball. But does he have a kick combo here? I think he might. He's called it.
Well, at the moment, I feel like even if we think it's not there, he will shoot it. So 2 ball in the corner.
Oh, good shot.
Well, is there a 4-10 combo, or would you just shoot the 5 in the top left?
Yeah, 5 in the top left. Lots of chances. It's a very big pocket the way you would play this shot, so I'm pretty confident he makes this.
Yeah, just so far he's been very surprising, so I'm starting to call a couple different shots here. Like, I would like to just go 1 rail, get to the 7 or the 12, play pocket speed, not do too much. Oh, he's missed it. And he's had such a good start too. Like, I don't see why he's now suddenly starting to miss balls. Like, he ran 42 to now, I think he had like 4 or 5 innings in between.
Yeah, they've definitely had chances, and this could turn into be quite a close match if they're not able to get any runs going here. They're both a little bit unexpected misses, I think.
Okay, let's see. That there's a small cluster, 4-10-8. And then there's a 6-9. But when you take away, now I'm not too sure. I would say the 11 or the 15. And then one of the 2 balls goes to the center. Possibly the 10 ball goes to the bottom right. 14 is laying really nice as a break shot, so would really not try to go into. I would also not try to open up this 6-9, and he's playing low. There's such a big chance to get frozen on that, coming in from that angle and 2 balls together. He might not have this stripe. I'm not sure if it's the 11 or the 15, but he might not be on it.
Yeah, maybe he bends it a little bit. If he can just get through, open these balls up a touch. The little cluster. Oh, he's missed it. Wow.
Well, it's also, now he was not sure if he was on the 15. And still he chose to say, well, let's open up the 4-10-8. Like, I would just be happy if I made that ball at this point, you know?
Yeah, you sometimes force yourself into doing a bit too much. It was a tricky one. Oh.
Okay, so let's see. The 10 I don't feel it's a break shot. Might be very close to the stack. I don't mind the 14. So 9. He's playing really fast. Maybe slightly too fast. Like he's not even doing any pre-strokes at this second. So
Oh, I forgot to update his score, I think, from the last inning that he had. But yeah, he's playing fast. I mean, just for people viewing, there is a shot clock, but nothing of any kind of crazy value. But there is a 35-second shot clock for the players, and they have one extension per rack of an extra 25 seconds. So they do have to have that in the back of their mind. But he's playing way quicker than thinking about a shot clock, I think, Tim. For sure, he's flying around the table.
yeah, I think he's still, what is it, 15-20 seconds left every shot. Well, not this one obviously, but I think they stopped the time. I would assume so.
Yeah, exactly. Not sure what's happening. I think they're just trying to get the scoreboard correct. So the players are updating their scores once their inning is finished. They go over to the device and they update their scores, and the computer will calculate. There we go. Business as usual. So can Arsene get a bit of rhythm going again, because they've both been a little bit broken rhythm, making a few uncharacteristic mistakes, I could say, but these balls look pretty straightforward from here. He just needs to get the cue ball kind of where it is right now, back for the break ball. Maybe a little bit further to the right would also be fine.
Did he leave himself angle here? He might have gotten straight, so into the left long rail and out. So tricky. Crossing the positional area, so sometimes you get too short and sometimes you run way too far, but nice little angle on the 14. Probably, I mean, if you want to be picky, you could have said, well, maybe slightly more over would be nice, but I mean, I'm quite sure that at this point he's happy to get that opportunity, make those 6-7 balls and have a chance to play for more, because suddenly he started to miss some unexpected shots actually. I mean,
Yeah, let's see. How would you play this break shot, Tim? Given that it's a little bit high and you're going into the top ball, it looks like. How would you play this one?
I don't think you will get into the top ball. The cloth is new, so it slides. I think it would slide full into the 11, so I would probably play like a stop shot. Maybe just a tad of draw, but nothing too much. Like, just keep it simple.
Just a glance
I
off the
think-
top of the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Played it well.
Okay, so now I would like to not make too many balls and go into the stack as soon as possible, but I would always play the 3-5 combination and lay the 3 in front of the corner. That way, if I go into the stack within 3 shots, I always have a ball in front of the pocket.
Yeah, good safety ball. It's a good tactic to have. I'm wondering if he can... Not sure if he can draw from this ball into the stack. Maybe it's a little bit thin. Even just glance off it. He's playing topspin, so...
I gotta say though, playing with the shot clock in straight pull is completely different though. I mean, yeah, you're just basically not thinking about the small details and more thinking about rhythm, because if you play too slow and you think too much, now the old back arm is starting to wobble a bit, you know, you're losing that confident stroke.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I think straight pull can be a game where you look at things for too long. There's that many different patterns, that many different scenarios, a million ways that you could take out a pattern to try and get to a break ball. So the shot clock sometimes just can be your friend and just help you stick with what your gut feeling is telling you, I think. Yeah, he's not thinking about it too much. But he will need to think about a break ball here, because will that 4 ball there just on the side, is it the 4 or the 6, Tim?
Well, the 4 is just outside the rack, so that must be what he's playing for. Still, as you can see, the 7 is kind of blocked by the 2 to go to the bottom right, and the 9 is blocked to go to the bottom left. And it would be nice to open the pockets as soon as possible, you know, in order to have more options. And I don't think he's considering that in his pattern at the moment. I think he's just making sure that balls are going in and he's making points.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate there. I don't think he anticipated to cannon the other ball, but it's worked out quite nice.
Well, he's definitely queuing straight. He's making what he's supposed to make here.
Yeah, he's got a nice shape on this 7 here to leave a really good angle on the 4. I think should be no problem to have a nice cut back. Yeah, not hanging around him.
Now he has a good angle. Like I said before, the break shot, last break shot, he was maybe a little straighter. Or what is it, 2 break shots ago? He was a little straighter, but it gave him at least an opportunity to make this run possible. And now he's actually nice on the break shot and within rhythm. So this is a very valuable chance.
Yeah, and this one's a slightly different angle to the one he had previously, so he's probably going to play a draw shot here, Tim, you think, just to keep the cue ball up table, just to give it a bit of a pull it back.
Well, if you're scared to scratch in the bottom right, go into the top short rail and come back out. Just double screw it.
I think that's what he's checking. How is he going to go into the balls, but he doesn't want to be scared to hit this. Probably give it a little bit of pace. That 12 ball.
Gotta say, he got a little bit fortunate there with how the 10 ball just laid right in front of the corner, because he did lose the cue ball.
Yeah, I thought he might, like what you said, Tim, I thought he might have screwed that a little bit more just to bring it up and down, but the 10 ball just squeaked out and saved him a little bit.
As you can see, I would always shoot the 9. Yeah. Like, he likes to just let the cue ball run into the balls, but he could have been tied here, actually, after running into the stack partially. And the stack didn't really open up much more. So now I'm playing, I would have played to the bottom of the 11 to run again in the stack and get the balls to the upside of the table at least.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. There is a ball, 2 ball to the right side of the stack, which he could use to open them up, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. He's taking this one now, so maybe he's going to 2 ball next, maybe. Yeah.
I don't mind this choice. It's just that the cue ball is running to the top side of the 7. It's not like you're targeting 6, 3, 1, 14. Like, you might catch a small piece of the 6, but you see, not too much opens up.
Yeah, he does have a break ball on the left side of the table, but is he on the back of it?
Ooh.
Just squeaking past.
Well, in the meantime, he's now up 50 points. Has to get straight on the 13, take the 13 out, and shoot the 9 as soon as possible to the top left corner, because, like I mentioned earlier, I would have liked to take the 9 out to open up the 8 ball. You cannot just leave yourself blocking balls. It's like you have to get rid of the 6 as soon as possible, because otherwise the 1 is locked.
Yeah, I agree. And he also had that chance to take the 9 earlier, like you say, just to get rid of it. So it's worked out okay, because when he opened the balls, he had a nice stop shot to get position on it. But obviously the balls on the triangle line, they both, the bottom one's definitely potable into the bottom left. I don't think he needs to disturb anything here, Tim.
Well, he's looking at playing shape on the 15. I wouldn't mind if you can run into the 1 ball, that's fine. you will have the 15 or the 7. If you're gonna run into the 6, then don't, because the cue ball will go to the bottom side of the table, and you're gonna leave yourself a more difficult shot after.
Yeah, I thought this could have been an okay break ball, but he's probably trying to leave one of the other balls. Now he's having to come with a shot now. Yeah, I don't know if that was needed. I felt that ball wasn't too bad for a break ball, the one he's just potted. That's a good recovery. Bit of a tester that one was, Tim, on the rail.
Well, there's definitely no doubt that Arseny is a straight shooter, like I mentioned before. It's just that he likes to let that cue ball go, and I find it quite scary, as probably most of the viewers could feel. Oh, good speed.
Yeah, he didn't take any time on that ball to get onto the break shot, so very confident at the moment. He looks a lot more in control than he was 15 minutes ago. But like you say, he's a quick player. He doesn't like to hang around. So when he updates this score now, he'll be on 86, I think it will be. So his finish line is very much in sight. If he can get one more rack, then he'll be home and dry.
Okay, well,
He's going forward this time, I think. Yeah, I like that shot. So this time, Tim, he doesn't need to think of any break ball. He's just focusing on clearing the table, and that'll get him to the finish line. So nothing crazy.
well, still needs to get to that, like to open up the cluster, and he's gonna do it here. But as you can see, it's relying on just a little bit of fortune every time, because he doesn't have to whack the ball as much as he does there. Like, just make sure you still have the 12 after, or I believe it was a 4 underneath.
Yeah,
But
I think
in the end, he got the shape. I mean, you cannot really complain with the result.
But like you're saying, if you're relying a lot on luck, frequently enough, eventually luck will not be on your side. Probability is a funny thing, so I think it's maybe a little bit too aggressive, like just playing into... That wasn't too bad because he always had the 2 ball there, but like you say, if you rely on luck too much, eventually it will not be your friend. But there's no issues here, I think.
I think he still needs to get on the 3 or the 4. So I would play the 11 and try to place myself straight on the 2. And if you have a small angle on the 2 ball, you can still maybe play a small cluster bump on the 3-4. But he's convinced the 3 ball goes to the bottom left. So in that case, it's, yeah, I mean, make balls. It's really wide open here.
Yeah, exactly. He could have even played for shape on the 4, like you said, if he was straight on that previous ball. But I think he's, like you say, convinced the bottom ball does go, so he's just going to pot his way to victory here, I think. That's pretty good.
Well, I gotta say, he did have a couple angles to get to the left side of the 4-3, and from this angle I would think it doesn't go, but do you think the 3 ball goes to the bottom left to finish the match?
Given that he's played it this way, yes. I would hope so.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, well, we'll find out in about 3 seconds.
Okay,
He
yeah,
didn't even...
straight in, no problem. Okay, well, that was a quick match. Arseny Sevastianov goes through to loser round 3.